It's Thursday, November 6th. In the headlines, probe to be launched as price gouging reports emerge in Western Jamaica. National Works Agency reopens most roadways in Western Jamaica following Hurricane Melissa. In business news, 116,000 homes damaged or destroyed by Hurricane Melissa. Regionally, Commonwealth are set to see a surge in trade among themselves in coming years. And in sports, Jamaica Premier League restart uncertain as clubs rally around hurricane-affected teams. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says an investigation will be launched into reports of price gouging in Western Jamaica post-Hurricane Melissa. He addressed this at the Tuesday sitting of the House of Representatives amid growing concerns about unfair price hikes in the aftermath of the storm. Since the hurricane's passage on October 28, there have been reports of steep increases in prices of basic food items, building materials, gasoline, and transportation fares across southwestern parishes. Member of Parliament for Westmoreland Western, Ian Hales, told the House that prices for goods and services in his constituency have more than doubled. He called for swift government intervention to protect vulnerable consumers in what is effectively a time of crisis. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says emergency care and sanitation are top priorities as the country rebuilds after Hurricane Melissa. He gave an update on national health priorities, emergency preparedness, and ongoing initiatives to strengthen the public health system at a press briefing this week. Chanel Matthews reports.
Many communities remain isolated, hospitals are damaged, and electricity is still out in areas across the island. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says public health is now the main concern.
During this period, when we have no electricity, the probability of food contamination and food poisoning is greatly increased. Refrigeration, which is non-existent in these areas, meat kinds and other types of foods may be contaminated either by not being refrigerated or by rodents and other such insects or otherwise that could spread diseases. So the team I've met with the team, the environmental health team. They have an army of about 600 environmental health workers. We have increased those numbers through compensation review significantly. I'm told that just about 400 of them are currently online, meaning we are able to get in touch with them. Another 200, I believe, would have been affected by the storm and are preoccupied trying to get themselves back up. We have to understand that.
Dr. Tufton says public health inspectors are conducting sanitation assessments across affected areas to ensure water and sanitation standards are met.
I know it's a difficult time, and I know food is precious, but it can be quite dangerous to consume contaminated food or spoiled food. And so I'm making an appeal to the public. Work with our public health inspectors who come into the field, who will be there essentially giving good advice, giving you support in your time of need, in your time of crisis, but also protecting you from the possibility of food poisoning, because that is real, and the consequences of this can be extreme, including death.
With the increase in rainfall over the last few weeks, the ministry has deployed vector control workers to prevent the outbreak of dengue and leptospirosis.
You will see, I would say, maybe close to 1,000 workers between permanent and temporary vector workers. They'll be deployed throughout the country in communities to the extent that they can move through communities, treating water storage facilities, drums, giving advice. The fogging will be picked up also in those communities. We'll be engaging some private contractors in a number of the communities. But we would want to encourage the public where you can. I know it's difficult in the 5 parishes, but the rains were right across the country, so we anticipate that the entire country will be impacted. Get your mosquito repellent, manage your immediate surroundings to the extent that you can under the difficult circumstances in terms of covering water storage containers and securing solid waste carefully to discourage water being stored and mosquitoes breeding sites being developed.
Chanel Matthews reporting for PBCJ News.
Hurricane Melissa handed the National Works Agency a massive to-do list, but the agency says it is making steady progress in reopening roadways across Western Jamaica that were blocked or damaged in the storm. Community Relations Officer for the NWA's Western Office, Janelle Ricketts, says despite the widespread damage caused by Melissa, most affected roads have now been reopened to at least single-lane access. Ms. Ricketts identified the Barnett to Adelphi Roadway in St. James as one of the severely affected thoroughfare, noting that the section near Chelsea was completely eroded by a nearby river, cutting off access. She adds that temporary reinstatement work is now underway to restore access to the critical corridor, while the NWA develops a permanent resolution. As recovery continues after Hurricane Melissa, mental health experts are reminding Jamaicans to care for their emotional well-being. They say feelings of stress and anxiety are normal and urge families to stay connected, limit distressing news, and reassure children coping with the experience.
Well, there is not a one-size-fits-all, first of all, but we do say at a time like this, once persons have experienced a significant natural disaster of this magnitude, that there tends to be a lot of anxiety symptoms showing, a lot of stress-related symptoms, a lot of uncertainty. There is, sometimes depressive symptoms will come about as well. Well, it's very important for us, for our own mental health as well as for children, that we limit their access to some of these materials. And, I know in this age that might be a little difficult, but we have to put in the restrictions, we have to put in the blocks. When we notice that they're watching, then we switch it to something else that is a little bit more appropriate. Their information should primarily come from us. So we can set a time and say, all right, the news is coming at this time, we can check, because we don't want to be completely cut off from information, but neither do we want to be bombarded by it and overwhelmed by it. We as people are, naturally social beings, so we need the support, we need the connection with family, with friends, with our community, because, in light of the devastation that we're still figuring out from Hurricane Melissa, communities have been affected, and it can lead to a sense of despair, it can lead to a sense of confusion, and, it is important for us to recognize that even though it has been a really frightful, really difficult experience, we do have the resources to be able to manage it and to manage it together. So it is important, even though sometimes we may want to isolate, for us not to. So that doesn't mean going out in, big groups and sharing what you're not ready to share. It just means I will talk to somebody It doesn't even have to be about the hurricane. It can just be a simple check-in. How are you feeling today? What can I do to help? You know, we talk about the children experiencing the lack of water, the lack of electricity for a sustained period, which they're not used to. We can go back to the old time things. So what are some games we can play that don't require electricity? What are some conversations, some topics that we can talk about just to keep the connection going?
The decision to reopen schools will be made by school boards and principals based on local conditions. That's the word from Minister of Education, Youth, Skills and Information, Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, as she addressed a special press briefing on Hurricane Melissa recovery at Jamaica House in Kingston this week.
If you don't have water, you can't open school. That's a minimum. You have to have water to open schools. But then there may be other issues in the community, maybe issues with the teachers and their ability to get in. And so all of that is taken into consideration, and the school board and the principal makes that decision working with the regional teams in the Ministry of Education. So we've decentralized that. I cannot stay in the ministry, the PS can't stay in the ministry and say that your school must open. We can't do that. But we do encourage schools, if you're able to, let's do it.
She encouraged the institutions that are able to reopen to do so, noting that studies indicate that a return to regular routine is beneficial for children following disaster. In Braes River, St. Elizabeth, principal of Braes River Primary School, Howard Lenford, says it will take a few weeks to get back to normal. The school suffered flooding and damage to its roof as Hurricane Melissa slammed through the parish on October 28.
Damages to some sections of the school roof. The guidance counselor office has been affected significantly, as well as the grade 1 classroom. We also have some classrooms that are leaking at the moment, and the grades 5 and 6 classrooms are all flooded out. As you are aware, we have no internet connectivity, we have no electricity, and of course I think this will put a hamper on the whole school reopening, but we are hoping for the best.
How many children do you serve here?
We have 152 students on roll.
Okay, so it's going to be some time then to get everything back online.
Definitely, and we have a number of students who have been impacted significantly as well. Some of them homes are completely destroyed, the roofs are all off, so some of them as well are traumatized. So they'll need some counseling. They are really affected by what has occurred here as a result of Hurricane Melissa.
If someone wants to get in contact with you to provide some assistance, do you have a contact number?
Sure. So contact can be made at 876-319-3805 or 876-409-2975.
The Education Minister has said psychologists have made it clear that after a disaster, the quicker children get back to their routine, it's better for them and their mental health. She notes that several schools in the corporate area have reopened, while others remain closed. Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. President of the Realtors Association of Jamaica, Gabrielle Gilpin Hudson, says that Jamaica is currently facing a housing and storage shortage caused by Hurricane Melissa, which damaged or destroyed 116,000 homes. Property owners are encouraged to list their vacant homes, apartments, warehouses, and investment properties for both short and long-term rental and leases. The association told RJ News that its members stand ready to provide professional and efficient support to property owners in the preparation, listing, and renting of their properties, as well as to assist businesses and families in identifying suitable spaces for housing and the storage of goods. JN Bank and JN Money Services have announced relief on loans and remittance services to their customers as they rebuild homes, businesses, and their livelihoods. I quote, JN Bank mortgagors who have sustained damage to their property also for the next 90 days may also access a special home repair equity loan, said JN Bank Managing Director Lisa Cow. For example, Ready Advance loan applicants will benefit from waived income verification and credit report requirements for eligible borrowers. No valuation or surveyor reports are required. Cash-secured loans also have no processing fees. In another example, for its micro-loan customers, over the next 4 weeks, there will be no collateral loans and recovery lifeline loans of up to $1.5 million. No processing fees are included. In addition, special microgrants will be made available to some microbusinesses in affected communities. Sandals Resort International has disclosed that 5 of its resort properties in Jamaica, namely Sandals Duns River, Sandals Ocheria, Sandals Royal Plantation, Sandals Negril, and Beaches Negril, will open on December 6, 2025. On October 28, 2025, parts of Jamaica were decimated by Category 5 Hurricane Melissa with winds of 185 miles an hour, causing extensive damage to buildings and infrastructure. Sandals Resort International is also announcing that 3 of its Sandals properties in Jamaica will not reopen for guests until the end of May next year. They are Sandals Montego Bay, Sandals Royal Caribbean, and Sandals South Coast, which won't reopen for guests until May 30, 2026. Sandals joins Hyatt Inclusive Collection, which announced last week its suspension of operations at 8 resort properties in Montego Bay for 3 months. For the trading period ending November 5, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited with 1,743,932 units, representing 14.64% of market sales volume. Atlantic Hardware and Plumbing Company Limited with 1,589,761 units, representing 13.35% of market sales volume. Wigton Energy Limited with 1,265,026 units, representing 10.62% of local volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rates set by the Bank of Jamaica. On November 5, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $60.16 million purchased and US $62.72 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.80 per dollar, selling the US at $160.10 and buying the US at $161.90. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $1.14 per transaction, with selling at $115.11 and buying at $113.97. The British pound yielded Forex traders $4.90 in profits, with selling at $211.11 and buying at $206.21. For our credit report tip of the day, when your world collapses, the job's gone, bills are stacking, and faith feels thin, you don't wait. You move. You grab your credit report like a battle plan and go line by line. You circle the errors, call the creditors, set the payment dates, and document every win. You rebuild your name, your score, and your confidence with each bold move. This isn't about survival. It's about reclaiming your power, using your credit report as a roadmap to rise again, stronger, smarter, and unstoppable. In our funded and focused feature, as a woman facing crises, you've carried families, managed other crises, stretched every dollar, and kept home alive through harder storms than this. Now it's time to use that same fire to rebuild, not just emotionally, but financially. Becoming funded and focused isn't about perfection, it's about motion. You rebuild one call, one invoice, one brave decision at a time. You get funded by using your gifts. You stay focused by keeping your goals in sight, even when the ground still feels shaky. You are not waiting for rescue, you are rebuilding in real time. So take the next step, send the message, make the sale. The woman who takes action today is the woman who gets paid tomorrow. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, Antigua and Barbuda and 55 other member states of the Commonwealth are set to see a surge in trade among themselves in coming years. Commonwealth Secretary General Shirley Roadway has outlined plans for more than double intra-Commonwealth trade by 2030. She also tells ABS News in an exclusive interview that a new fund is to be set up to benefit Antigua and Barbuda and other member states to help achieve their sustainable climate goals. Theresa Goodwin reports.
The need for expanded trade opportunities has become increasingly urgent amid rising geopolitical tensions and shifting global trade dynamics. Commonwealth Secretary General Shirley Roadway says this global climate is driving the development of a new strategic plan for the next 5 years. One of the primary pillars of that plan is to strengthen institutions within the Commonwealth and boost trade and investment by removing certain barriers.
How do we get from 900 billion to 2 trillion? We need to look at standards. We need to harmonize standards. We need to look at barriers to trade. How do we deal with them to make sure that we remove these barriers and make it easy for a Commonwealth country to invest in another one?
The grouping has already established the Commonwealth Connectivity Agenda, which provides a forum for nations to share experiences and best practices related to trade, investment, and domestic reform. Secretary General Roadway says this could be further enhanced with a free trade area.
I believe that with a free trade area in Africa, the African Continental Free Trade Area, you have similar in CARICOM. There's one in the Pacific. We can borrow elements from these free trade area.
Another crucial pillar of the 5-year strategic plan focuses on building climate resilience. This includes the establishment of a $400 million fund to ensure that smaller countries have access to financing needed to build resilience and to sustainable development.
And to do all of these in terms of the 3 pillars, to achieve these 3 pillars, what I've talked about, you need the young people. They form 60% of the Commonwealth, 1.5 billion. Out of the 2.7 are young people who are ready to be part of the development of our nations.
The Secretary General believes that through stronger partnerships, increased trade, and greater climate resilience, the Commonwealth can build a more prosperous and sustainable future for all 56 member nations. Theresa Goodwin, ABS News.
Barbados is once again making a strong impression on the global tourism stage. That update comes from Minister of International Tourism and Transport, Ian Goodwin-Edgehill, who is leading the island's delegation to the 2025 World Travel Market in London. He shared the progress at a special reception that brought together airline partners, hoteliers, travel agents, and other international stakeholders looking to deepen their connection with Destination Barbados. CBC News' Deandra Roberts has that story.
It was an evening of celebration and connection as Barbados welcomed its partners to the JW Marriott Grosvenor House in London, setting the tone for a week of tourism promotion at the World Travel Market 2025. Ilan Motley-Harris, Director BTMI UK and Ireland, says that the occasion was more than promoting Barbados as a destination.
Representing Barbados on this international stage is both a privilege and a passion. For me, this role is far more than a professional appointment. It is a heartfelt opportunity to share the story of the island that I truly love and where I call home, a place of warmth, authenticity, and belonging. To stand before you as an ambassador for Barbados is to stand on the shoulders of generations who have made hospitality not just an industry, but a way of life.
The theme this year, At Home with Barbados, reflects the island's spirit of warmth and belonging, a quality that Minister of Tourism and International Transport, Ian Goodin-Edgell, says continues to attract thousands of visitors from the United Kingdom each year.
According to the Central Bank of Barbados' third quarter report for the period January to September of this year, the United Kingdom recorded arrivals of 160,749 to Barbados. Based on preliminary forecasts from hoteliers and the trend in airline bookings, it is clear that Barbados is once again poised to welcome even more UK tourists for the forthcoming winter season.
He detailed major new investments transforming the tourism landscape, from new hotels to expanded port facilities and community-based programs.
I am pleased to report that several new hotels are under construction in Barbados and are scheduled for completion within 3 to 4 years. These new hotel capital projects will expand our accommodation offering by approximately 1,600 rooms at this time through to 2029, and we anticipate additional projects coming on stream very shortly. The previously mentioned construction projects will create not only thousands of jobs for our local economy and sustain economic activity, but will also provide new experiences for the British visitor to our island and even more sales opportunities for you, the tour operator, travel agent, and of course our airline carriers.
With fresh investments, new experiences, and a renewed vision for inclusive tourism, this country's presence at the World Travel Market signals confidence, continuity, and Caribbean pride. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
In sports, we're on spot with football. With no confirmed restart date for the Ray and Nephew Jamaica Premier League following the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa, several urban-based clubs say they are in no rush to resume play, expressing solidarity with teams hardest hit by the storm. Clubs Montego Bay United in St. James and Treasure Beach FC in St. Elizabeth suffered severe losses respectively, with players and staff losing homes and personal property, in addition to significant damage to club facilities. The JPL is expected to be postponed for a third consecutive week, as Professional Football Jamaica CEO Owen Hill indicated that resuming competition is not an immediate priority. Meanwhile, Harbourview FC chairman Carvel Stewart told the Jamaica Observer that a late November restart may be the most practical option. And that's the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platform at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.